Hello all. I wanted to try a little intro video and also maybe a little multitasking with oracle decks with supporting stones. And yeah, let's see how this goes. I wanted to kind of just share a little bit about this channel and more about what I've been experiencing over the last 4 months to more so the last 4 weeks. But before I do that, a little bit about myself. I don't know if I can multitask, to be honest. Let me talk a little and then we'll get into the cards. Okay. Yeah, so I actually come from a scientific and clinical background, and I've always been highly intuitive, and I've been interested in, tarot and watching tarot readings. Yeah, I have been experiencing just a lot of strong, intense vibration in my body over the last 4 or so weeks. And it has sort of led me to have a lot of clarity, and also to really get into wanting to do tarot and buy a lot of gemstones. Okay, a lot of crystals. I also, about 4 weeks ago, stopped drinking coffee, and I'm also kind of being told to stop eating dairy, but I'm kind of struggling with that one. So I don't know if it's to help with clearing. I don't know. So bear with me. I'm also very tired. Part of the sort of intensity of this energy is it wakes me up in the middle of the night. So I was up at 3 a.m. last night writing things down, and I've had that go on and off again for the last like 4 or so weeks. And anyway, so I just again wanted to share how this just sort of has been unfolding. And since I've been having that energy, that energy has actually really pulled me to not just start this channel, but to like learn tarot like really, really fast. It's almost like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And so I'm doing my best. And I'll share in future videos kind of how I've been, navigating that. But honestly, I'm a very private person, and I am kind of, going through the motions of talking on YouTube, doing this process. But I also know that this channel is to help, share, like, oh, this is actually happening. Part of what I'm trying to maybe document or just share or process with you all is in the last couple of weeks, there have been times where I'm like questioning, what's going on. Am I delusional? Is this projection? And so I'm kind of going like back and forth in those kind of energies, but also just getting lots of profound just energy. Is this channeling? Is this, you know, spirit, is this divine, you know, are these angels? I'm not a religious person, so again, I'm quite, you know, skeptical, and at the same time, these ideas of spirits and angels, you know, can't be ignored. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I feel kind of crazy, but also I've also been feeling a lot of joy and been really just enjoying the process. So, you know, without, you know, further ado, that's sort of my intro spiel, and let's, you know, see what happens with this setup. So I'll shift into the cards. Okay, again, these are just oracles. I just want something easy. I thought I would be like talking, doing this. No, not going to happen. My brain's not, you know, that multifaceted. So here we have Sacred Geometry Oracle Guidebook for Activations. And the supporting stone is the Super 7. Really, really cool stone. This stone helps with unity, spiritual growth, and also helps to connect to higher realms. So I was very attracted to that. And then this is a more kind of quiet, gentle oracle that I really appreciate. So this is called the Empty Cup Oracle, and the supporting stone for this is sardonyx. And sardonyx is a stone that helps with, oh, hello, you can see my notes. Strength and courage, and also protection. Also, what is really kind of cool about this stone is it helps to overcome challenges and goals. And there's, you know, a bunch of other cool properties. Go ahead and look it up. But these are the ones that sort of kind of match these decks today. And so, yeah, I guess basically what I'll do is, if you choose Super 7, right, we'll go ahead and just see what oracle card pops out, okay? So let me put the stone here, okay? Move that there. And let's move these guys to the side, okay? And here's a little guidebook. I'm gonna need this, okay? Move this here, okay. Super 7. Realization, okay. All right. Yeah, so as you've seen, if you've watched my first video, I am very bad at shuffling. I know it's essential for this process. I'm sure it'll get better and over time. But yeah, I'm a little self-conscious because some people make it look so easy, right? And so, but yeah, I mean, the idea is to just, you know, shift up the energies. And then here comes the, you know, the fun part, which I'm really, really bad at, which is shuffling. Okay, so let me go ahead and focus. Super 7. Whoa, okay. Okay, that was more than I expected, but let's see what popped out, okay? So this. There we go. Whoa, there's quite a few here. Okay. Ooh. We have delight. Whoa. We have discernment. Oh, we have heart chakra. Ooh, this is what I need today. Throat chakra. Oh, this is lovely. There's going to be 6. We have change. And we have coherence. Nice. So, let's see. Maybe I don't read them all. Maybe I just let them be visible enough and see what a nice little theme we have here, right? So, delight. Our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. Well, perhaps these are my oracle cards today. This is really speaking to, again, the kind of gift of diving into this process. Yeah, a lot of joy, a lot of dissipated fear. I actually had quite a bit of social anxiety before shifting into this energy. And now it's just kind of gone away, which is wonderful, but also, making me have to really pay attention to what's going on. And the next card is discernment. Okay, this is like my jam, okay? Discernment is really, to me, about what is and what is not. And for this card, right, the ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Okay? And then that really kind of flows into the next card, which is heart chakra. And if you're into chakras, right? Or you're just into heart space, you're into soft, vulnerable openness, then, we get to connect into a deeper sense of self-love and love for others, right? The capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. And the healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Beautiful. Okay, who doesn't need that? And here's throat chakra, right? So, like I said, this is definitely helping me today. Having to speak on camera, having to share my words, my thoughts, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. So I'm finding as I stay grounded, the words flow easier. Yeah, I've got a whole script off to the side here, but kind of can't see it very well. So I'm kind of needing to trust that these words will come, and they are, and that's really cool. Okay? Change, okay? Kind of in the heart of this, layout. And our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality. Well, reality is a dancing. And to what tune? I don't know. It's still playing out. A sense of both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and birth the new. Everything is an ongoing cycle. And as we become more in step with those rhythms, right? There's less need for attachment. There's less need for resistance. Everything for a reason. Whether it's a lesson, whether it's karma, whether it's healing, whether it's staying safe. Okay? And the last card here, coherence. The frequency to support our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart and the frequency of the mind to an optimal ability to create the reality we deserve. Ooh. Coherence sounds like another descriptor for unity, for coming together, for blending and balancing, but also empowerment. So again, really cool. Love this. This is what I mean. This makes me really happy. This is the power of this process. So that is the activations. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next one. A lot of dead air time, space, whatever that is. Put these over here. Okay. And let's bring over the lovely, I love how this just fits right there. The Empty Oracle Cup. Oh, sorry. The Empty Cup Oracle. Okay. And this is such a, again, cute and quiet and fairly positive, you know, type of oracle. So, and oh, never mind. I talked about sardonyx. Okay. This is what I mean. I'm not here to edit. I'm here to share how trial and error, how touch and go, how little, you know, this is not a perfect process. We are not meant to be perfect. Therefore, we do not need to fear, you know, trying new things. And so this is very much a new thing. And yeah, so I really think, you know, again, like that is very important for me in this channel to just let it be, right? So, okay, without further ado, the Empty Cup Oracle. Okay, shuffling. So, here we go. About the size of, you know, standard tarot cards, but, oops, Oracle. Easier for me to shuffle. Okay. Let's see. Let's do one more. Okay. Okay. I know these, it doesn't matter if these are reversed or not, but I'm just developing my style. Okay. Good enough, right? And let's go ahead and see. Whoa, okay. The cards are really interesting, whether they're tarot or oracle, you know? Some will just fly out. Some are just kind of slow, lazy clumps. And I've seen where people just kind of count cards or just take cards intuitively. And yeah, I want to kind of just explore different ways of accessing choices, right? But for now, I'm sticking to the clunky shuffle. Whoa, clunky shuffle. Okay. And let's see. I think it's just one card. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So, I mentioned the vibration, but then there's also the goosebumps, okay? And when there's alignment, that's when I get goosebumps. And it may be a simple thing, but I love how this stone matches the coloring in this card. And also, hello, ancestors. Oof. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see what is the guidebook. Okay. By the way, it's really a weird thing to have to look up at the camera and try to stay anonymous, but whatever. Okay. And what's cool about this little guidebook, by the way, the Empty Cup Oracle by Stacia Burrington. I think she's in Seattle, Washington, or Washington State. She did it alphabetically, so it's nice and easy to get to. Okay. Ancestors. Meditate on all that has happened that has led up to you existing right now. Think of your parents, your grandparents, the ones further back that you can track. Regardless of your current personal relationships, think about how many people fell in love, struggled, fought, failed, succeeded before you. They are in your blood. You are the end of the string that stretches from now back until the dawn of time. Even if you don't see them, even if you feel separate and groundless, you're tied in this way to all of history. Whoa. So, going back to this stone, right? Lovely little sardonyx. Oop, here we go. Overcoming challenges and achieving goals. What better support than from your ancestors? Okay, thank you for being with me, and thank you for coming into this energy today. Again, I don't think this will be a traditional tarot channel. I have a few different ideas, but yeah, I'm going to trust the process. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.